Good morning everyone. I am Dr. Rasika Pawar. I am from CHM College and I am attending the refresher course organized by AMU on EVS and I am from second batch. The topic of my presentation is role of mining as a cause for environmental disaster. So first of all, let us understand what is mining. So mining is the process of extraction of valuable geological materials from the earth. And the most important question is, why is mining done? So mining and processing of minerals, they provide us with the building blocks required to form much of the infrastructure needed to support modern societies. So mining and mining operations, they require higher amounts of water, and the water is used for removing soluble particles, sieving, separation process and so on, which are very important during the mining and extraction of various materials during the process. So high water usage in mining operations, it leads to reduction of the water which is available to the local people, and this results in local area suffering from water stress. Now the main environmental impacts of mining are as follows. So basically mining leads to metal contamination of groundwater. It also leads to air emissions. Various gases are liberated in air which could be very toxic and dangerous. It leads to metal contamination of surface water as well. It leads to cyanide poisoning, and it also impacts as acid drainage during the mining process. So now let us understand what is mining and environmental pollution. So there have been many documented instances of environmental pollution which are caused by mining operations and which are because of leakages from mining and tailings. So mining tailings are the materials which are left behind after the economically valuable fraction of material has been extracted. So these materials are often stored in large tailing dams to prevent environmental damage, as tailings often contain radioactive, toxic and acidic components. So tailing consists of valuable substances used in extraction process such as cyanide, mercury, arsenic, and therefore modern mining programs often aim to remove these harmful but valuable chemicals, and these chemicals are later on reused after the extraction process is completed. So the next important question is, how does mining impact the land? So it is one of the most key environmental problem which is associated with the mining, and the problem is associated with the land use, and that occurs after the drilling excavation of the open pit mines is done. Now the later also can include camps which are going to be used as accommodation for the miners, as well as railways and roads needed to transport the mined material. So in this way mining has a lot of impact on the land which is in vicinity of the mine. Now the infrastructure created by mining operations in remote untouched landscapes can lead to improved access to these regions, which may result in further human caused disturbances to the local ecological systems. The impact of mining operations on the surrounding land is also closely linked to the ecological setting of the mining sites. For example, deforestation of primary forests caused by mining for iron ore in tropical rainforest of Gabon is likely to leave more devastating and longer term ecological damage compared to mining iron ore in the deserts of northern Australia. So this is just an example of Australia, how the mining can impact the land. Now the next important aspect is generation of greenhouse gases. So it is very important to consider the impact of land use change in the context of greenhouse gas emissions. The destruction of vegetation and soils when land is cleared for mining results in the release of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. Another important consideration relates to the quantity of greenhouse gases released per unit mass of the mined material. As Some less concentrated mineral deposits require proportionally higher energy usage. So, for example, mining 1 kilogram of diamond produces around 8 lakh kilograms of carbon dioxide in comparison to a kilogram of highly abundant minerals such as iron, which produces only about 2 kilograms of carbon dioxide. The creation of products from mined material use high amounts of energy throughout the different stages of the production chain, and most of this energy is currently sourced from burning of the fossil fuels. Now here I would like to cite one example of the Church Rock uranium spill disaster. Now this disaster, that is the Church Rock uranium mill spill, occurred in United States, and this occurred on July 16, 1979, when United Nuclear Corporation's tailing deposits or the pond in which the disposal was done, it got spilled, and actually a dam was breached because of this spillage. Now the accident remains the largest release of radioactive material in US history. So it was definitely a big accident which took place. The mill, which was operated from June 77 to May 1982, was located on privately owned land about 70 miles north of Gallup, New Mexico, and the milling of the uranium ore produced an acidic slurry of ground waste rock and fluid that was pumped into the tailing disposal area. The breach released more than 1,000 tons of solid radioactive mill waste and 94 million US gallons of acidic radioactive tailing solutions into the river, which is also known as the Puerco River. An estimated 1.23 tons of uranium traveled across 80 miles downstream till Arizona. Now, in addition to being radioactive and acidic, the spill also contained toxic metals and sulfates. The spill contaminated groundwater and rendered the Puerco River unusable for local residents. In fact, the local residents were not warned for several days of the toxic dangers from the spill. So, in a way, they drank water, they consumed water from the river, still not knowing what the river water actually contained. So, this example is definitely a very useful example to study how the mining can affect the environment, and the take home message is we must save environment from excessive and illegal mining. Thank you.